Hello everybody! Today I am really excited to do a demo using the amazing Durabright opaque white Grafix paper. And I am going to create a painting with alcohol inks. I got this reference photo up here from Pixabay. I searched mountains and then Switzerland because I want to go to Switzerland one day. But first I want to tell you a little bit about the liquid frisket I used by Grafix. So this is a masking fluid you apply to your painting where you want it to stay white. So I applied the liquid frisket with the dipstick that they gave me. You dip this into water and then you blot it and then you dip it into your frisket and you apply it, which I did, and it has been drying for about 45 minutes. See the shiny area? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint around it, and this is going to protect the mountains from getting paint on them. When I am ready to remove the frisket, I am going to use this Grafix liquid frisket remover. So it's just a little, kind of like an eraser. So I will be able to show you how I do that in a few minutes. So the paint colors I'm using, alcohol inks, are Limeade by Ranger, Citrus by Ranger, Rainforest by Pinata, Dandelion by Ranger, and that guy moved on up there to mix as alcohol inks do. I've got for the sky Glacier by Ranger, and maybe I'll use a little in the mountains there. And then my favorite color in the world is the Senorita Magenta by Pinata for the flowers. So those are the colors. I am also using some blending solution to thin out the inks. I have all of the inks in a little tray off to the side. And I've got 4 brushes here, 5 brushes actually. And I like using the rounds. They have a thin tip. They're just various sizes. I think there's a 6 by Artist Loft, and then I like these flats. That's a 6 flat, and can't really see the number, but I like to have a lot of cheap paint brushes on the side. So I am going to start with the sky. I've also got Q-tip in case I want to do a little bit of clouds up here. Looks like they've got some cloud action going over the mountain up on the right. And then I'll probably thin out my ink with the blending solution. So I'm going to start by, I'm also going to just have the blending solution open if I want to apply it right onto this paper plastic. Alright, so I'm dipping into the blue right now. Spread it around, and I think I'll get a little bit more blue, and then I'm going to add the blending solution right on there to make it move easier. That's what the blending solution does. It thins it out and it makes it move nicely on the paper. So this is really nice paper. I call it paper, but really it's plastic to work on with these alcohol inks. I really like it. So smooth. And that's what you want with your alcohol inks, to work on a surface where the inks flow so smoothly on them. And I really like this. Just blend it around. You want to work fairly fast with the inks because they dry so quickly and you don't want a lot of streaking. So I'm going to go around the mountains. I like these white areas that are happening because of the blending solution, so I don't really know if I actually need to add clouds because those kind of look like clouds back there. I think I'm going to thin this out a little bit more. Pour on more blending solution. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to dry, which will only be a few minutes, really. And actually, I think I will take the Q-tip, dip it in some blending solution I have in my little plastic tray on the side, and just dab it on above these mountains on the right. See what happens. Yeah, kind of like that, kind of like that. Maybe a little more. The Q-tip cotton really absorbs the blending solution so much, so you'll probably have to reapply the blending solution quite a bit. Alright, that's getting lighter. Kind of like that. Let it just do its thing there. Smooth out around the mountains, and pretty soon I'll be lifting off that frisket. That'll be fun. Alright, now I am going to go actually down into the grassy area and do some greens and yellows, and I applied the frisket down there as well to cover where the flowers are, so I can just peel it off and then it'll be nice and white, and then I can add the magenta beautiful pink color. So I will now use, I'm going to use the limeade green. I'm dipping my flat brush, and I am going to add it to this background here. See how it's very light over here? There's some kind of a sunlight coming through the mountains there, so I want to have it light. A tiny bit of the citrus will be added. So I have the darks and the lights there. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to this area where the sun is coming through. So you don't have to do anything, you know, special or perfect for the grass background. Let's see, I'm going to need some more limeade. I'm going to leave that area on the top for your pink flowers. It's mostly covered by the frisket to protect it. So it's okay if I go over it because the paper is protected. I am going to dip into a little bit of yellow, put some yellow here so that I can have the sun shining down onto the grass. I don't want it too yellow, so add a little bit of green. You can put the citrus in there, or you could put the limeade, whatever you like. And I'm not ready to add the darker rainforest green up front yet, but that will be coming. And you can also just leave little areas. If you do not have the liquid frisket, just leave some areas white on the paper that you can go into and add your flowers, if you want to have flowers. I'm going to need more citrus up here, pouring it into my little plastic dishes. Ooh, looks like I got some pink up here on my clouds by accident. I don't know how on earth I did that, but the good news is you take your blending solution and just kind of dab it on there. Now I have some clouds up there that have a little pink in them. Doesn't bother me. I like it. Makes it look kind of pretty. I don't know where that pink came from. It's funny. Now that's nice and white. You barely see the pink. Alright, let's see. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the darker green down here because it's much darker in the front, as you can see in the photo. And then I have bigger flowers in the front and smaller in the back. So keep that in mind. Larger in the front. You just turn the brush this way and that way. There's no exact science or way of adding the grass. I'm even going to add a little blue in there. Blue and green mixed together. I took some of the glacier blue that I had in my palette and mixed it with the green. Alright, it's just a little dark here. See a little bit of dark in here. I don't think I'm going to put that tree, but you can add that pink tree if you want. Okay, now I'm going to go back to some citrus in the kind of front area here. Make sure we can see that pretty sunlight coming down, so that you want to make it darker in some areas. Totally fine to mix in some of your citrus down here or your limeade. I'm just going to drop some of my citrus right on the paper. It dries up so fast in the palettes, little plastic palettes, so whatever works for you. Ooh, that looks pretty the way it's mixing. Nice and dark here on the bottom left. A little bit of dark here. Below the where the pink flowers are going to go. A little bit in here mixed in. Okay. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to add a little bit of blue. I'm going to add the blue on the mountains after I peel off the frisket. So I would say, you know what, I am going to add a little bit of blending solution and kind of blend all these greens in, because I don't want there to be too much white showing up. Any white you do have showing up, you fill it in with your pink though. So, but I just didn't want too much. So I have blending solution on this dark green brush that's got a lot of green ink on it. Okay, I think that is looking good. Alright, now I am going to remove this frisket. You can do it with your fingers, but let's try it with this Grafix liquid frisket remover. Alright, so hold the paper down. It's very easy. Just pull it back, and you see how that is on the edge there where that blue was. Comes completely off to a white, which is really nice. I went up here into the sky up here. Wow, this is great. I like this. So I protected the mountain. The mountain did not get really any blue on it. The little bit of blue it does have on it, I'm fine with, because I'm going to put a little bit of blue into the mountain anyway. It comes up, you know, like a big bunch of glue, basically. Alright. So I'm gonna clean this edge up here. So I've got a clean paintbrush here that I am going to dip into some blending solution over on the side. Just kind of make this a smoother line. Go into the clouds. I like how the light blue is mixing into the mountain with the blending solution. Clean this up a little here. Beautiful Swiss mountain range. The Alps. I guess it's the Alps. Swiss Alps. Alright. So you can put as much as you want onto your mountains. I dipped into my blue. I'm going to add just a little bit of darkness. Just little dots. There's a bunch of little dots here. Kind of a shadow. It looks like a shadow here. Shadow there. Keep using your blending solution to clean your brush. See here? I like how it kind of looked like that. And yeah, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the illusion of the shadows on the mountains, the shadows from the clouds, and just can have some fun with it. All right, now I like that. I am going to work on the flowers. But before I can do that, I'm going to have to pull off all of the frisket. So here we go. Make sure this is dry too, and it feels pretty darn dry. Alcohol ink dries so quickly. All right, it comes off nicely. And you can also, again, use your fingers if you want. So I got lots of nice white areas for the, for the pink flowers. You got to really hold it down because you're pulling pretty hard with the eraser or whatever. This is frisket remover. It's like an eraser. And then just feel, do you have any left on there? Can't really see it too well, but you can sure feel it. All right, I think I have everything off of there. All right, yep. There's a little bit. Now I can have fun with the pink flowers. So I got my Senorita Magenta. I've got my nice clean brush here, and try to make this straighter. These do not have to look like perfect flowers. It's just all the illusion of the flowers. Let's see if I can show you a little bit better. Put that up there. See it a little bit better, okay? I'll start with just dabbing on in the background. And I'm probably going to add some blending solution to blend this nicely. All right, we're gonna add just all into the white spots. Add your flowers. That's a big one there. And if you don't want that many flowers, just add a lot more green. I have quite a few flowers here. Lots and lots of Senorita Magenta. And it really brings some beauty into the foreground with these gorgeous colors. You can use whatever color you want. Put blue flowers, you can make a whole field of different colored flowers. When I lived in Alaska, we had the weeds, they're called fireweeds, but they were this color and they grew really tall. I don't think these are fireweeds because these look almost like, they look kind of like bushy, but the fireweeds would grow very tall and beautiful. And when they were done blooming, you knew that summer was over and everybody get ready for the long winter, which we're all doing now in most of the world. 'cause unless you're in Australia. Alright, I think now I will add, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blending solution and mix it right into my palette with that Senorita Magenta. So I still have definitely some color, but I'm ready to lighten it up. It's getting a lot lighter. And then you can go pure blending solution and make it much more lighter. So there's lots of different shades of flowers, of pinks. So in the background, it's just a big field of flowers all blended together back there, kind of popping up into the mountain, the very horizon. Make that go up into the bottom of the mountain. And I've got some green in there. I might go in here later and add some trees, little evergreen trees way in the background. You could just work on this for hours and hours, if you like. Right now, I'm going to go straight blending solution and not much pink. I want to lighten this up a little bit more. I don't want it to be that strong. And if it starts blending too fast, blow it and you can dry it. Alright, same with these areas that are very white. I want to quickly fill them in. And then the really dark parts of the magenta, I wanted to give some contrast here. So, go right on top of them with the blending solution. And it's okay if you got the pink mixing in a little bit with the green, that's alright. Looks a little abstract, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be completely realistic. You can always go back and add darker, if you want to add a lot darker around certain areas. Like that, go ahead. Make it much darker and make the flowers stand out and have a better contrast. But that's about it. Like I said, I could work on this for hours, but I wanted to just show you these beautiful papers. Again, it's Durabright, and the one I use is opaque white, 0.10, 9 by 12 inches, and you can get this through Grafix, grafixart.com. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you very much. Bye.
Come learn, create, and share with us. It's a life-changing opportunity.